Welcome to the second video in our three-part video series on where we want to travel in our camper van. As we stated in the first video, we plan to use our van to visit family and friends, as well as the many places we want to travel throughout the U.S. We want to explore states and national parks, attend and participate in fitness events, and just plain vacation. Are you okay? Mm-hmm. However, we work and are still a few years from retirement, so we have limited time to travel. This is the second video in a three-part series where we will be sharing all of the places we want to travel in our van. In the first video, we shared where we plan to travel in our camper van in the next 2 to 3 years. This video will cover our ease into retirement travels as we venture further away and explore more of the parks in Wisconsin. I'm Kimberly.
I'm Corey. Welcome to our channel. Be sure to watch all the way through to the end to hear all of the places we plan to travel to as we ease ourselves into retirement. And as always, let us know your recommendations for cool places to visit. Trust us, you don't want to miss out on any of the van life tips or DIYs for our van conversions, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and turn on the notifications to get alerts for when we drop a new video.
We know there are so many amazing places to travel in your camper van, which can make it hard to decide where you should travel and what adventures to plan in your camper van. We revisited our list of must-go-to places and decided where we wanted to travel to in order to prepare ourselves for the more extended life in the van after we retire.
In preparation for our next phase of travel in our camper van, which we call pre-retirement, we plan to travel a bit further than we will in the first couple of years. In searching the map to identify where we should travel, we realized that there aren't many national parks nearby. However, there are literally hundreds of state parks we can visit in Wisconsin and the surrounding states. We will definitely be purchasing a state park pass because the first group of trips we will share are short weekend getaways that will primarily take place in Wisconsin.
So in Wisconsin, we plan to visit the following state parks. So this is again 2 to 3 years was part 1, so if you want to watch that, go back and watch that video. This is our 3 to 6 years, and by the end of the 6 years, we should both be ready for retirement. So this is like that pre-retirement. We'll be feeling that itch. So in Wisconsin, we want to visit Peninsula State Park, which is located in Door County. That is the location that we had selected for our first 3 years. So we'll go back. And we are going to go there and visit some of the 20 hiking trails, which are mostly easy to moderate. They have 2 bike routes, one of which is off-road and the other one is either paved or crushed gravel. I don't remember which. This park does have 8 miles of Door County shoreline, so we can canoe it at the Nicolay Beach. However, beans is not allowed at the beach or in the grassy area, so we'll have to figure out how to get him into the water, which I think is going to be something we're going to run into frequently. We plan to take this trip in the summer to take advantage of the warm water in Lake Michigan. This will be a short 2.5-day trip, which will only require about 3 hours of driving each way.
Our next destination is Northern Highland American Legion State Forest, which is over 236,000 acres and just north of us. There are numerous areas to camp. We'll probably camp at Clear Lake so we can paddleboard. This area also boasts the Heart of Vilas County paved bike trail system. This 52-mile scenic paved trail connects the communities of St. Germain, Sainer, Boulder Junction, and Manitowish Waters in Vilas County, and Mercer in Iron County. There are plenty of local places to eat up north. One great lunch spot in Rylander called CT's Deli makes delicious sandwiches and great cookies. So we will make sure we stop in while we are in the area. This forest is close to home, no more than an hour drive, and will be a great getaway.
Yeah, it's actually really close. It's probably only, the southern end of it is probably maybe, 30 minutes north?
Rylander's an hour.
Is that the south part of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know where we're at. A third weekend trip will take us to Perot State Park, which is on the western side of Wisconsin. The unique thing about this area are the bluffs, and Perot State Park has 12,000 acres nestled among 500-foot bluffs where I'm going to get this wrong, Trampaloo and Mississippi rivers meet. The park has 12.5 miles of hiking trails. Many of those trails take you up to the top of the bluffs and give you unique opportunity to see the river, the Mississippi River Valley. There are also several other state parks in the area, which we will explore. And since this will only be about an hour from Minneapolis, we may take part of a day to visit the Twin Cities.
Mirror Lake State Park is named for the lake, which does not allow any motorized craft. Mirror Lake State Park is located near Baraboo, Wisconsin, and has 19 miles of hiking trails, most of which are easy hikes. However, we look forward to hiking the Northwest Trail, which is the most difficult trail in the park, with some steep hills through sandstone rock outcroppings. There aren't designated bike trails, so we probably won't ride at this park, and perhaps find some bike trails in the near area. Devil's Lake State Park is in the area as well, so we might spend part of the day there.
Right, and they've got the trails that we can take Beans on for sure, so we'll make sure we bring him. We're looking for recommendations on local establishments we should visit while we're in near these state parks. So if you know of anything local that you would recommend, a great place to eat or get coffee, we both really like coffee, make sure you comment below to let us know where we should stop. We are even looking for if there are farmers markets or other local things that people like to visit.
We are planning one long trip each year during our pre-retirement time frame. Each trip will be little over a week long, and we have identified 2 of the 3 for sure. However, we are unsure about where we will take our third trip due to the changes in the CrossFit Games will be held. The first long trip will be to South Dakota. We both really want to hike in the Badlands National Park. We plan on the boondock at the Badlands or camp in Pierce, South Dakota. There are many scenic overlooks and hiking trails throughout the Badlands. We plan to hike as many trails as we can fit in.
We also plan to visit the Black Hills National Forest to see Mount Rushmore, visit the Crazy Horse Memorial, stop in at Wall Drug Store, and the Mitchell Corn Palace. Corey and I both ran into the same websites while researching for our trip out west, and guess what? He's already been to the Corn Palace and thinks that everybody has to visit the spectacular artwork made of corn. So we're going. For our next trip, we will leave the country, and that will be our second long trip, heading up to Canada to visit Niagara Falls. I was there many years ago and don't remember much about my trip, so I look forward to experiencing the majesty of the falls. On our way to Niagara Falls, we'll travel through Michigan, staying a day or 2 in Detroit, visiting my daughter, and we'll explore some of the area there. While in Canada, we will tour Cave of the Winds, which is close to Niagara, and we might take a quick day trip to Toronto. On our way back, we will loop around Lake Erie, returning through Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. We'll look for places to hike and bike explore on the way.
A possible third trip will be to Birmingham, Alabama for the CrossFit Games, if that is where they end up being held. If not, we will probably still end up heading out on this trip, making sure to stop into Nashville to eat at Central Barbecue, Biscuit Love, and pop into Milk and Honey to get their awesome coconut latte. Once we fill our bellies, we will pick between the following options as we head down south: Atlanta, Chattanooga, Knoxville, or Memphis.
Well, it was challenging to find places we'd like to visit that are within a reasonable drive distance, especially knowing that we will take a bit longer driving the van than we would a regular vehicle. We still had fun researching the parks in our state. We both agree that researching locations made us a little antsy about where we want to go when we do retire. We hope that the first trip will be our big loop around the United States. So that'll be part 3. Stay tuned, where we'll share our welcome to retirement big trip.
For even more tips and tricks for your camper van conversion build and now travel plans, follow us on our Instagram.
If you like this video and think other van lifers will too, hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks.